Want to win federal contracts but don't know where to start? This session could change your business. Welcome to a special workshop hosted by the South Asian Business Council of Virginia, a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering small businesses and entrepreneurs. In this video, you'll learn how to write winning proposals, secure federal contracts, and leverage powerful certifications like 8A, Minority-Owned, and HubZone, strategies designed specifically for small and minority-owned businesses. This session features Srini Bayireddy, founder and CEO of Navitas Business Consulting Incorporated, a trusted expert in federal consulting and government contracting. Hosted by Mansoor Qureshi, representing SABCVA. This workshop delivers real insights, real strategies, and real opportunities to help your business grow. For more workshops, events, internships, and community resources, visit www.sabcva.com. If you're serious about scaling your business through government contracts, stay with us and don't forget to subscribe and follow SABCVA. Let's get started.
As you can see that SABCVA is doing incredible work to uplift and empowering our community. Please continue to support us, join us, and donate, because when one of us grows, we all grow together. Tonight, we continue this mission by learning from a true rock star community leader and the CEO of one of the leading federal consulting company, Navitas Federal. Please join me in welcoming Srini Bayireddy, one of the top expert in federal and state contracting. Srini, welcome to SABCVA. Your journey and impact is helping small and minority-owned businesses succeed in federal contracting is truly inspiring. Could you please introduce yourself and share your journey, how you built your company into the successful enterprise it is today?
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I don't know how many are there, but the few things. Number one, I'm not a seasoned coach who will teach about how to grow your company in the federal government, and I'm another maybe a few steps ahead of you guys, and I help the community because it's you can exchange notes and learn through this. And what I give today, maybe as we go along, is more of a personal journey, personal experience, and then you could probably relate to where you are, because I'm not sure what stage of the entrepreneurial journey you guys are in. So I want to make sure it connects with everybody as I go along. So about myself, I don't have a long bio like our good friend Mansoor Bhai, but it's impressive. And by the way, the presentation is very impactful. Thank you so much for South Asian Business Council. Whatever you guys are doing is very, very meaningful and gratifying. I see that. So I'm glad to be part of this event today. So about ourselves, Navitas Business Consulting, we are about 15 or 18 years old company. We have evolved from commercial practice. We currently work with about a handful of agencies, Department of Homeland Security. We work with State Department. We work with IRS. We work with HHS. We work with FDIC, GSA, some of these agencies, and that's our federal portfolio. But we also are very prominent in the state and local space too. So we work with about 10 states, starting from Virginia to Maryland, Delaware, Arkansas, North Carolina, Texas. So the footprint of Navitas is really government, both state and local, and federal. So, and again, Navitas is something very near and dear. That's my probably sixth company. We had a bunch of product companies that I have built, grown, and exited a couple of them. And Navitas, me and my wife started. It is still a women-owned organization. And I will, I don't know what else. As we go along, I'll probably relate some other things about me. But I think I'll probably stop here about myself.
Yeah, Srini, that's obviously truly inspiring. Your journey itself is a lesson and a motivation for every entrepreneur watching today. Let me ask you with simple question with federal contracting. What are the first steps a small business must take before entering federal contracting?
I think the first and foremost is, do we have the minimum eligibility, especially if you're going after some certifications, 8A, women-owned, or HubZone, any of them? Do we have that minimum qualifications? Because you want to have those certifications that will help enable you to get into the federal space, right? That's one thing. But then the two important things besides this is, what do I have that's really a powerful thing that I call my USP, that because eventually that's what you're going to package it and call your core offering and sell to the customer, right? And then the second thing is, who is that agency? Which of these 25 agencies that has the need that fits my USP, right? And when you ask for USP, I'd say, what is that you are good at? Anything that I can do it with ease, and the same thing that is a little bit harder for others, then that's your USP, right? So when it comes to, I'm coming from technology background, so I would always relate with IT. So for example, if I'm very good at cloud transformation, cloud migration, or cybersecurity, when I say very good, I could formulate, I can design, I can come back with a nice accelerator or something. Then that's my USP. Then I want to build a story around that, and then I build a capability statement that commensurates that. So the key is to see if I can fit into any of this. I would call the, not help cost, but something that the certifications that allow you to cut down some of the time it takes for you to win a contract. I'm not talking just 8A, any of these. There are a bunch of ways. I'll probably talk. Let's say, for example, request for information, RFIs. Those are very, very under utilized when it comes to saying, RFI, I don't want to write it. But some of my contract wins were originated from my initial request for information responses, because a lot of times when you do that, you are actually creating an impression to the contracting officer that you are really interested, that you really wanted to respond to that. So those are some of the things, and the certifications and credentials. These are all things that you need to have. But maybe we'll have a lot of Q&A in this, and I can answer them. But so the two most important things is, what do you have, and where can you sell what you have?
Mm-hmm. All right, Srini, that's an excellent advice. Would you say these steps are manageable even for businesses that are just starting out, for new businesses?
Absolutely. Let me give an example. When you are a one man, or can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. You can hear, right?
Yes, folks? I can hear.
So when you are a 1 to 10 employee company, or even you yourself starting a company, then your company is nothing but you, right? So your credentials are the credentials of your organization. Mm-hmm. So whatever I was talking to is, when I can take Navitas, for example. 10 years back, I actually went in and applied for 8A, and I got that. I'm the only one. Whatever I know, maybe a few employees of mine, that is my core strength. Then what I did was, I took all my employees, what they know, and I formed a 2-page capability statement. That is the single most thing I know. Again, this is one of those things. You go to anybody like us, and they'll say, hey, bring your capability statement. At some point, I was so tired distributing my capability statements too. But the key is, that is one thing that actually acts like a mirror, a reflection of who you are, what it is. And then you constantly keep on changing that based on several things, whether it is geopolitical, or the economy, or the technology trend, whatever it is, and the agencies that are changing. So you need to have that constantly changed, but you can absolutely do it as a small business too. The scale changes, right? If I'm a 100 employee company now, I go after slightly bigger ones, because that's how I aspire, right? Or when you're small, it's the same thing. The formula never changes, but the approach is a little bit different.
All right. So, Srini, great answer. What makes a proposal truly stand out from the competition? And what are the top reasons proposals get rejected, according to you?
I'll the bunch of reasons for a proposal to get rejected. I'll give you my examples. I got most of the single most thing is the compliance, especially if you're a small business with you as an owner wearing multiple hats. You are running the payroll, you're running the operations, you're running the delivery and everything. Then your focus gets sliced, right? And then so sometimes you overlook. I have lost a few contracts at the get-go because I missed I put a different MBE certification instead of another one, or I forgot a sign to begin with. When I go back and I bang my head to the wall, I say, how did I miss this one? So anything could happen. So, but you're so small, you can't have 2, 3 people review it, a red team, green team. So that is a single most thing. Compliance kicks you right at the entrance of the gate, right? Whatever outstanding technical response you did, it's of no use because no one is reading that you failed the compliance. That's one place where you get rejected. And then the rejections, the soft rejections, are once you are in, either your past performance is not up to the mark, or your pricing is too high, or sometimes you're not even your response is not credible enough. So I'll give you another example. If a customer asked for an RFP and you responded and you put, hey, for doing this it's 2 million, but then the rest of the people responded at 20 million, then that means you haven't understood the depth of the proposal, right? So things like that, proposal get rejected. But I think how do you make it stand out from the competition is simple. You really, when you dissect the proposal, you need to understand at the back of your palm, you need to understand what is the problem that the customer is asking to solve. And you should always revolve whatever 20 pages, 100 pages of your proposal, should always come back to that mothership. This is the problem I'm solving, right? And then you do all those rest of the stuff that help you to strengthen it. If I'm saying I'm going to do an outstanding response and your technical response is good, but how do you execute it? How do you bring the people? Then you need to have your recruiting plan solid that matches with that. Your project management plan and your quality management, all the rest of the attributes should need to really get in and support your response, right? And then the pricing is very, very important. If you need to price just at the right place, right? Again, I'll take one more minute, Mansoor, here.
Sure.
Because it's very important. The way I do it is it's like 3 different lenses I put in when I put a proposal response. One is what is the rate? Let's say, for example, the proposal you're responding needs 5 developers, Java developers. Then first thing I do is what is the industry rate for Java developers? That's coming from anywhere from salary.com, Indeed, whatever it is, right? And then the second lens is, if this is a recompete, what was the rate that the currently the customer is paying for this one, right? And you can go to fpds.com and go put in this contract number. You know exactly what is the amount the current vendor is actually charging. So you have a baseline. What is it? And you know where the industry is. Now the third ingredient is what you're bringing, right? Or if you know any connections, if you know which way the agency is leaning. Sometimes the agency might have paid $1 million for this work, but they're thinking, with all the AI and maybe the supply demand, this could be done in 800K. If you are not in the middle of that capture, you don't know that the customer is thinking 800K, then you end up putting a $1 million because you got that from FPDS. So the point I'm trying to make here is pricing is not a once and done. Every single proposal, it's like a new thing, right? So you need to take these 3 prices. What is the industry? Because you don't want to go too far below, or you don't want to go too high to get priced out. You want to see what was if it is an incumbency. Otherwise, then you see what is the current that will fly, and that is your secret sauce, right? So that is the biggest thing that proposals get rejected because of the price, even if it is not an LPTA, lowest price typically accepted proposal. So I'll happy to answer some of the questions on this or anything.
Yeah, we'll have a question and answer session in the end. But I must say, great insight. Avoiding these mistakes is critical for success. So, Srini, one of the question, actually everybody wants to ask this question, that how can a new business build past performance if they don't have any?
It's and I had that question 10, 12 years back, right? Like I was saying earlier, if you are starting a company, your experience, if you have worked with 3 companies and you started your own organization, your past performance is your organization's past performance. All it takes is to package it, right? And that's one thing. And then the single most thing you should be doing, if you are running a business and if you are not networking, then you are not running a business the right way, right? So you need to, like this, you're sitting today, and you have to go put yourself in the place where the business is. You cannot expect business to come to you. So the reason I'm saying this is, you go talk to your friends who have companies, or maybe a director or a manager of other companies. Then you start going to them and build that relationship and make a teaming partnership. That's how you get your past performance, not yours, but you are actually being a teaming partner. So by association, their past performance is your past performance, right? And again, if you're going after as a prime, as a sole source or whatever it is, then it need to be on your. So there are different tentacles to this, right? Sometimes customer will say the prime should have the past performance, and only prime's past performance will be considered. Sometimes they'll say teaming partners too, but you need to again at a high level. I keep preaching this to my company and other friends. You need to, even if you're a one-man company or of 200 300 employee company, your capture plan as a owner of the company should be a three-pronged approach. That's what I follow.
Okay.
First prong is you want to pick the agencies that, like I was saying, what are the agencies that has a need that matches with what I have as a strength. If someone wants a ServiceNow type of thing and you're a ServiceNow expert, if someone wants a Pega and you're a Pega expert, then that is your first prong. You want to see what is the customer, and then there you want to go as a prime because you already have a referenceable past performance on that. That is you. So that is your first swim lane. Even if it is a less than $1 million or 200,000, one person contract, you want to go as a prime. That's your first thing. You continuously look for avenues where you can go as a prime, because that is what builds your credibility. That's what put your company's name on the map in the federal agency. The second prong is teaming with the larger companies, like big ones, right? Lockheed's or Booz or Deloitte's, Accenture's. The reason, and it is not easy because you need to do a lot of this, the networking connections and all that to pick to go to the right person who can actually take you as a teaming partner. That is the second prong. And the third is going with a similar size companies, or like Navitas size, or maybe slightly lower than Navitas size companies. I'll tell you the difference between these two. If you're going with a larger, like an IBM or an Accenture, the effort is only up to you getting to the right side and winning the trust of them. After that, you don't have to put any effort. You're part of the program. And then the rest is all history. After they win, how do they, divvy up the work with you and all is a secondary thing. But your effort is only up to the pursuit of being part of the teaming agreement. But on the other side, you have to do a lot of work because the other company is also smaller one. So they'll say, okay, I'll take you as a team. What can you do? Can you be part of technical writing? Can you be part of orals? Can you be part of reviewing? Or can you bring your people for a code challenge, tech challenge, whatever it is? You are exerting a lot of energy or your effort in there, but the rewards are also same, right? You will probably ask for a good percentage, 20, 30, 40, 50. But in the other case, you can't ask. You can only be a best athlete or maybe at most, a single digit work share. But the key is you're diversifying your portfolio. Now, when you, from the large, you get the best practices. From the small, you apply those. And then together, you win, you go to the third prong and win the prime as prime for the areas where you are your key and your USPs. So that's how I do it. But past performance is you have to go on the commercial side, you bring that eventually as yours. If and teaming, it is an evolution, and then you need to really be passionate about that. You cannot just give up. I'm not getting any past performance, so let's not do it. Because that the time where you are actually about to give up, that is a threshold. After that, things will start rolling in.
Yeah.
So I'll start.
And it's a brilliant answer. And what I understand from your answers or from the explanation, that even new companies can establish credibility with the right strategy. So thank you so much for such a great and a brilliant answer. Let's move into our next segment, which is importance of certification. Why is ATES certification is so important for small and minority-owned businesses?
My answer would have been different if it was a month back, but I will still nonetheless, because with the current administration and with whatever is going on after DOGE, the dynamics are slightly different, right? I don't know how many of you in the call following this. So the thing is, while ATA has its own advantages, there are a lot of the loopholes that are being milked by companies, especially the Alaskan Native or all the tribal ADAs. For people who doesn't know, very one quick high level. if you are a tribal 8A, you can actually go up to 100 million on a sole source. So the problem with that is people started taking these and then just do a pass through for a large company like Booz or someone, and then they do the entire work. But then someone wrote what a day. That's true. So today they're actually going out. So long story short, 8As became not, I wouldn't say unmanageable, but it is not serving the purpose the right way. And so, like Secretary Hicks said, I think a week before or so, he was like going after all these 8As, and 18th was the deadline for all the 8As to submit all their contracts. So government is reviewing, DoD is reviewing all the 8As to see how many of them are kind of iffies and is there any fraud in there. But I'm just giving you a current scenario on 8As. But to answer your question, Mansoor, 8A is such a valuable conduit for you to get in your prime contract in the areas where you have otherwise, which you would have to go through a lot of, get to another company, team with them, get to another company, team with them, and by the time you get to your prime, it takes a lot of time. So that is the biggest advantage of having 8A. But 8A in itself, getting an 8A is not going to get you that. So when I got my 8A, I thought I got the hall pass and I got the hunting license, and I was like, I walked to all the Osterbooths, and it was like a kid in a candy store. I did that like 6-7 months. Nothing is happening, but my interest never faded. But then after like close to a year, I got back and I said, hey, I'm a small business. I'm spending so much time, which otherwise I would have spent somewhere else, and that could have quantified into money. And I felt like something is not right here. And I switched back to my commercial practice. I went back to Fannie, Freddie, and got the, so then I started realizing you need to have the right contact and connect, and you need to, the one I was saying earlier, if you're good at something, and then you should be able to package that to a place where you can actually sell it to the customer. If you don't have a connection, if you don't have that relationships in the agency, it's I wouldn't say it's a trust, right? Because if I go and say I know this and I want to build this, I can do it. The other person sitting there on the other side of the table, the CIOs of the program office and the contract office, can, because you're a small business, you don't have too many referenceable things. So it's very hard to build that relation, unless most of the time what I've seen is I'm working in, let's say, USDA or Commerce, and my CIO likes what I'm doing, and I go do an 8A, and then I'll say, hey, whatever work I'm doing, I want to do it on my own. Those are the things that works really, really well. Because now you have a prime contract, you don't have to establish credibility because it's already established, and now you can grow, cross-sell, upsell within the agency or outside the agency using a past performance, right? So these are, and then I see some of the SWAM or MBE, DBE.
Yeah,
I must tell you,
Loan,
Navitas
Swam,
as a
a lot of
company,
other certifications too.
But I benefited a whole lot from my MBE credential than my 8A. So I don't know if any of the audience here, are they part of state and local kind of portfolio, but I strongly recommend go back and look at your home state or any of the states of your interest. Look at the MBE, apply that, because all states' IT budget has a mandatory, anywhere from 10 to 40% MBE. So even if you're large, like, for example, I have a $100 million contract with the state. I have to 25% of that I have to give it to MBE. And so what am I doing? I'm looking for any of the MBEs, and then I give the work to them, right? So this is something. Sometimes you go after the bigger the price, and then you ignore the little ones, which if you combine it will become the same thing. So I did that mistake. I'm just sharing it with you. If you have appetite to go bid on apply for an MBE or DBE, it will come handy, as long as again, you don't want to do it just like how I did my 8A without any anchor, and then I spent my time spinning wheel, right? You want to know, what is my 8A? Why am I doing this 8A? Or if you're going after a proposal too, the same thing, right? Why am I going after this RFP? Just because it's in the same technology what I have, it doesn't cut it, right? That's only 30% of it. You need to see what relationship I have and then how can I build something that can really interest the customer, and then who do I is there a private relationship, or how do I capture? These are all things that come handy, but you don't just by having a certification is not going to cut it, right?
Yeah. Well, thank that's a great answer. And what I understand is that certifications are not just paperwork; they are powerful strategic tools.
Yeah.
So let's talk about finding opportunities and networking. Where should business look for federal contracting opportunity?
I Good question. I think this is, again, I go with what I did, and I'm
Mhm.
not saying this is the only way to do it, but I found that as more straight shot, like, because I could separate the signal from noise, right? So one place is always everybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry who has SAM.gov and all that will go to SAM.gov and some of these open portals, right?
Mhm.
But and if you have a lot of money, and if you are a slightly a decent sized company, then you start investing in some of these analytical platforms like Bloomberg or Galvin or some of these things. But the places where I have seen most success is the agency's forecasts, right? So let's say USCIS. You go to USCIS, and it's open information, right? You go into their forecast. What are the work that is coming in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, and then you take that, you look at the POC on that. Who's the contracting? I mean, the contract office or the program office, and
Mhm.
look at this is what I did literally. I go in and I look in the if I look because I've been working there at the USCS as a contractor, so I might know a few people. If it is not a match, then I'll go into my LinkedIn and put that name and see is there any second level, third level connections, and then I go to those guys and say, hey, can you connect me with John Doe, because there is an opportunity coming in 6 months, and that is exactly what I was doing, enterprise architecture or something. All I need is a 15 minutes connect, and I go in with a presentation, and I not a marketing fluff, but I go in and show genuinely what I did. Or maybe I'll go before I go there. I will see what is the division doing. If it is in risk and fraud, I want to go back and look into my kitty to see if they have done anything related to risk and fraud or advanced analytics. And then I go back and tailor that to him, and then I go talk to him, because this is more credible, and it is they are actually putting there for a reason. They want the people who are interested to come in and bid, right? So that's one place, Mansoor. Then the other thing is the industry days. So that's another place. You All these agencies will periodically, even the state agencies, do the industry days. What they do is, okay, in the next 2 years or 3 years, this is where we're going to spend the dollars, and this is how we're going to release it. So then, what are the ones you can actually go after. Sometimes you don't have to go all by yourself, because there is something that's, let's say, I'm just making up something here. There's a Salesforce based work that need to be done. You are a Salesforce expert and you have another 5 people, but then the volume of it is so big. Then you go back, take your capability statement, and look at what are the companies that have worked in that agency, and better yet, if they have a Salesforce capability, then it is an uphill battle, but it all shows how relentless you are. Now you go to them and sell a darn good job of selling of your 4 or 5 people on the Salesforce and say, can I be part of this group? That's what I did maybe 7 8 years back. And then the other thing is a lot of our things come from word of mouth. If you're going to all these events like CCAPs or ACTAX or any of those events, and then that's when people of the similar kind BDs, and they all come in and they say, I'm going for this. Are you going this for the same thing? Then you come back, you take your notes and see, okay, there are 4 of them, and I probably need to prioritize and go which one I should go after. So it's all having the presence of mind and being outside. And so there's a balance, right? There's a focus time. If I take myself, Srini, in
Mhm.
a day, 24 hours, how much of my time goes for collaboration? How much of my time goes for focus? I don't think I have any time for family, but just I'm just kidding. So these two, you need to balance it, because you need to use that collaboration time to extract that information, and then come back and then put all that information there. Use your focus hat, and then strategize what are the ones you want to go, and then you continuously do this, and then you start seeing the benefits. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's a great answer. Thank you so much. Before I ask you my next question, we are joined by Mr. Henry Eichelberg, Treasurer of Loudoun County and a valued community supporter. He'll share few words, and we'll also be hosting a dedicated workshop with him soon, hopefully. Henry is honored that you are with us. Would you like to share few words, please?
Yeah, thanks. I think
Yes,
this
sir.
is great. I used to work for General Dynamics and getting ahead of this stuff. One of the gentlemen in the comments put that Booz Allen had a website for small businesses to get started. There's a lot of jargon about SWAM and 8A qualifications and so forth, but as Srini said, it's really a combination of two things: marketing, finding opportunities, marketing, networking, and then working on building out your expertise. What I mean is like actually delivering the services themselves. Do not sell yourself short. If you have not done anything on your own before, all of your prior experience working with other organizations, you have to craft into basically a skills statement for yourself. So, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you, hey, look, when you're doing business in Loudoun County, you need to have a business license. So don't forget about us. But we're really excited to try to support this effort. You guys, Mansoor, under your leadership, done a great job with helping to educate the community, and anything I can do to support it, I'd be happy to do that.
Thank you so much, Henry. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your love. And thank you for everything you do for our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Henry.
All right. So let's start. Srini, what is the best way for small businesses to approach contracting officers? And how can small business partner with largest companies to increase their chance of winning contracts?
For the first one, I think I probably answered in a little bit before, right? You look at the first. You need to know who are the people who have the authority to approve the budget and the program, all that. So once you have them, I did it in two ways, right? I always go through someone they know, because it's just to have that credibility already set in, right? Then it's a little bit, I wouldn't say biased, but at least otherwise, if I go in, usually I'm considered as it's one among the 10,000 companies, so I'll just listen and then go away, unless I have something really strong that captivates their attention, right? Trust me, it worked. That also worked. What works mostly is if you go through someone who knows them, and then who you work. You need to get your credibility not by you saying it, but someone else who has used your services, right? So that's what I try to do. But as far as going to the contracting officers or the program office, it's a different purpose, right? If you're going to the contracting office, you need to make sure you have all the vehicles and your ducks in a row, that you are eligible to go in and bid on that. That's your purpose, going to the contracting office. But if you're going to the program office, it's on the other hand, you want to show why the CIO or the program director want to award this to you, because you want to show how good your capabilities from past performance, current resources, skills wise, and whatever the process around that is what you're going to tell them. So you need to be very, very intentional when you go, that you don't want to go in and say, tell me how can I help you, or I saw this proposal and I want to help you. I'm sure people in here have heard this so many times. And again, this is not an exercise to learn something new. It's about ascertaining whatever I'm talking about is something most of you know it. And I still went to sessions like this because I want someone to say the same thing, so it doubles down on my head, right? So my point is, you want to be very, very clear why you're going to a contracting officer or the program office, because you only get one chance. The first impression is the best impression and only impression. So you don't want to go in and say, I'll come back, give me the details, then it's done. So what I recommend is do the homework, do initially, okay, what is that agency? What are the different programs? There is information out there. It needs a little bit of strategic time that you need to spend on that agency, that on that individual you should go. Is he more aligned to technology, or is more risk averse, or what is it? Then you can actually, you still package your solution to that person, but then you know what other items you need to add to make it more interesting for them. So this is something when you go, and obviously you're going to be cordial with with all that, and then you always, when you walk out, you have a takeaway, and then you also have an anchor to come back next time, because you say you presented everything, he says great, then you walk out, then you have no reason to ask for another time for the second meeting, right? So what I do is, and then I'll somehow towards the end of the meeting, hey, why don't I bring a working prototype next time to show these two things that you're talking about, or something like that. Then I have a reason, credible reason, to come back and say, hey, John, can I come back and do that? I'm ready. So that builds that trust. In the process, they also see how disciplined you are, and how committed you are, and how passionate you are. Then that helps, right? So, and if you're going with a teaming partner, it's a different story, right? You'll get to learn a lot from those. If they are big partners, how are they interacting and what is happening? If you're going with a small, still, it's a end of the day, nobody can do a much more sales job than you as the owner of the company, right? So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I mean, that's very practical guidance. Relationship building is key for long-term success. Balancing quality, value, relationship is always essential. So thank you so much. Great advice. Let's talk about common mistakes and some advice from you. What are the most common mistakes new companies make in federal contracting? And what advice do you have specifically for South Asian and minority entrepreneurs entering the federal market?
Okay, this again, I do it even now. That's my common mistake, and I'm learning out of it. But I'll tell you, I don't know if it fits to all the folks. When I remember all the previous explanation I was giving, you look for an opportunity, and then you figure out, is it something I should go, and then you decided to go after it. Then what do? You start putting together a complaints matrix, and you start putting a response, right, a document.
Mm-hmm.
My focus is all on that, used to be on that. How do I write a solid response, and how do I put all the bells and whistles to make it look good? If you win, someone need to deliver that, right? So one of the things I saw, it's always a good thing to bring that, whoever the project manager or program manager, from the time of from the beginning when you're submitting a proposal, right? So then because then it's not just you, the one who's actually going to man the but this is I would say this is a problem for companies who have no problem winning, but for delivering, or maybe somewhere around that. But I'm just still putting out there, that is one. And the biggest I would say is, let's say I'm a small business of 5, 10, 15, 20 employees. Then for me, my arena is big. When I was up to 50 employees, if you see my capability statement for Navitas, I can do everything under the sun and moon. You can bring anything, I'll do it, because I don't want to miss even a single opportunity, right? But then as you start growing, your focus gets narrowed, and then you only pick the ones you want. So given the market right now and the industry going, you want to be very focused. So then that means the common mistake is, I'll take whatever it's slightly related to it, because I want to improve my chances of winning by bidding more. But then it actually comes at the cost of that one contract you would have otherwise won, because you distributed your time, because you're a small business and not able to do a justice on one contract. So the key is knowing what contract you don't want to go. It might be a nice shiny thing, but you don't want to go, because so a lot of these contracts, they come in, they don't tell you I'm going to distribute across, right? You might see 5 coming at one time and then nothing in the next month. So what I do is, in the nothing in the next month downtime, I'll go all the RFIs, the request for information, because RFIs are very easy, right? 2 pages, 3 pages. And then that keeps me connected with the contracting office and all those people. And sometimes they'll say only people who responded to RFIs can bid on this. Then boom, you got the some of the competition eliminated from you, right? So on my downtime, I did ISO 9001, I did the CMMI, and I don't even know what CMMI was. All that because I saw when the proposals are coming, what is the nature of the proposal? They're asking they need to have CMMI, they need to have this. Then I started building my company around that, right? So my 2 cents is figure out what are the ones you want to go and ignore the others, and then use your downtime wisely to build those credentials, certifications, and I'm not talking about just the federal certifications, but also for organization, right? ISOs and all that, and MBEs, DBEs. They will come handy, but don't go after everything under the sun and the moon. Connect with someone like Srini's company or some and say, what is it? If you're close friend, you can ask. But if it's not, you figure out, okay, if Srini is winning contracts in, let's say, AI talent or cloud transformation, then I want to get a certification related to that. And then I go to Srini and talk to him, right? So it's eventually going to help you as a company to grow your reputation, but you're having a very calculated move on what you want to accomplish.
That's truly inspiring advice. I think our audience will definitely take this to heart. Learning from these mistakes can save entrepreneurs significant time and resources. I have one last question, but before that, we have one leader. She's available here, and we are also honored to have our partner and a good friend, Nupur Punjabi from Anna Sudha Community Kitchens, who's leading an incredible mission by feeding over 6,000 people every month. Nupur, could you please introduce yourself and share a little about your mission?
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Anna Sudha is a kitchen located in Dulles Town Center, and we donate 6,500 meals a month to local shelters, schools, and anybody is welcome to come in for a. I welcome all of you to come and stop by and to see for yourselves how we are making a difference and join in any capacity that you wish to. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nupur. I mean, I saw it. I know you personally. You are running an unstoppable and a powerful mission. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for everything you do for our community. So, Srini, my last question before after that, we'll go to Q&A session. What is one key tip for writing proposal that consistently win?
Having a dedicated owner and not slipping the time. That is, I hope everybody knows what a compliance matrix is. When you have a proposal, when you dissect that, let's say the section L&M, there's a proposal evaluation criteria and the structure, right? So you need to, when you dissect, and even if you have one person or 3 or 4 people working on it, make sure your eye on the ball is what the problem you're solving. That's for sure. There are little nuances that made me lose some of the contracts. Like you might see, oh, okay, the line, I've covered it. But when they evaluate, what they do is they take each and every adjective and verb and then see if you have addressed that or not. So compliance matrix, if you don't have one, you need to start building. There are tools out there, but you can also be disciplined. You can just take that and cut and paste. You need to have an owner for everything and a time by which you need to finish it. A lot of times we scramble in the last minute because we have done that a portion of it. We have the compliance matrix done and we have all of them taken care of, but then we don't religiously follow until the last minute, and then you spin the wheels and you just do a mediocre job in response. So my suggestion, be very disciplined and walk backwards. If the deadline is someday, let's say on the 15th, then you want to keep an artificial deadline of maybe, depending on how much time you have, at least a couple of days. Then you march backwards from there and then see what is need to be done at what time. And then the other thing is, a lot of times if you are doing even if it is for a sole source, letters of commitment or any of the certification type documents, they're not in your control. So you need to start ahead of time, because otherwise, when you're in the last minute, when you're assembling all the paperwork and you saw something is not there, you may not have time, and then you get disqualified. Other thing, one time I got kicked out because the login ID and password for one of the vehicles, DIS sites or something, it's been a long time we used it, but we finished everything, and then an hour before we started, we got locked out because it's been a long time since we didn't use it, and then it takes a day for them to reset the password, so we lost it. So things like that. But I think be very disciplined, and you cannot take this as a casual thing, right? When you take the proposal, you have to you have to read from one end to the other of the sections that matter, and then you need to kind of revisit as if you're revisiting for the first time to see. Otherwise, you can't catch the mistakes. But that's only in the proposal writing side. But there are code challenges. There are some contracts. The acquisition strategy has changed a lot now, right? Some of them we didn't even write any proposals. We do an oral presentation, and then we do a technical challenge, coding challenge, and then we win the contract. So for those, there is a different discipline. But another suggestion for small businesses who are very, very tech savvy, I mean, agencies like USCIS or the HHS, they award contracts for 8A and sole source just by the, not sole source, but even compete with the code challenge or tech challenge. Those are because then you're not exerting a lot of energy or a lot of money. It is your thing, and it's a level playing field too, right? If it is a code challenge, everybody has an equal chance because they get the assignment on the fly. So it's not like it is aligned or assigned to somebody. So I'm just sharing that. Most of our initial wins are from code challenges.
Perfect. Thank you, Srini, and that that's a perfect answer, and that beautifully summarized everything you have shared tonight. Before we move into Q&A, we have an exciting announcement. On 29th of March, South Asian Business Council of Virginia is hosting the largest South Asian Business Conference featuring workshop, speed networking, pitch competition, SWAM certification, and other certification session, and expert guidance on loans, funding, contracts, and writing winning proposal. You will meet community leaders, industry experts, and you will also recognize outstanding achievers by honoring the best entrepreneur of the year with the SABCVA award. This is a powerful opportunity to connect, learn, and grow. So please, please, please register early. And our friend Tanuja, can you please play this 40 seconds video for March conference, March 29th conference, so people can see that, and then share the link to register.
Yeah, sure, Mansur. That was wonderful. Before we move to Q&A, we'll quickly share a short video, a glimpse of networking and workshops of SABCA. Guys, think like this is the best opportunity, to meet with networking with entrepreneurs and to expand your business as well, make your connections like that. So I'll just share the video.
Get ready, Virginia. The biggest South Asian business event of the year is here. Workshops, business training, funding opportunities, speed networking, pitch competitions, all in one place. Launch your idea, grow your business, meet leaders who can open real doors. Network with entrepreneurs, officials, and mentors. This is where connections turn into success. Learn it, build it, pitch it, win it. March 29th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Gather and Share, Dulles Town Center. For partnership and sponsorship, call 7039-759-040. This is your moment. Don't miss it.
So, friends, we have invited senior officials, including governor, lieutenant governor, officials from Virginia Economic Development, VIPC, CEOs, VPs, and few powerful community leaders. So, Tanuja, please share the registration link for March 29 event in the chat. Friends, registration is free, so please register and become a part of this historic event. So, I think I also want to announce one more thing that we SABCVA, so South Asian Business Council of Virginia, is offering 100 summer internships 2026 in AI and cybersecurity and leadership development, along with an internship fair on February 21, where we will select over 100 interns for our summer program. So I'm pretty sure you never heard 100 summer internship before. So we are doing this for you guys, and we are proud to highlight that two of our past interns have secured position at Booz Allen, and several others are currently in the hiring process with the leading organization. We offered 22 hands-on AI internship under the guidance of Sadiq Ahmed, solution architect. He went to MIT, and then Mr. Ahmed, who mentored 13 interns in mobile development, and they all provided practical hands-on learning experience to all those people. Now let's open floor for questions. Please type your question in the chat or raise your hands. Kindly keep question brief and focused. Tanuja will be managing Q&A session. Tanuja, the stage is your now, or Zoom
Yeah.
session is your now.
Guys, please start posting your questions to
And
Srini.
raise your hand if you have any questions.
Hi Srini and hi Mansur Bhai. So it has been a while that we have been connected. And Srini, and nice points that you have mentioned in this meeting. And recently I have been connected with you in LinkedIn.
Oh,
Yeah. So whatever points you mentioned here, I have been following all of these points. So now I am sure that I am going on a right path. So, and Srini, I have one straightforward question. So, if you have anything that matching with my capability, are you willing to give me an opportunity?
absolutely. So if I'm not, then I'm an idiot because right. But then the question my capability that you mentioned is the key there, right?
Right.
How do you, like I said, how do you package it? So, for example, I have 70 vendors that I work with Navitas, and do all of them have similar capabilities? No, and all of them are up to the mark? Maybe not too. But what happens is when they come in and say, "Hey, I have this," and you're doing a vertical agents on something and insurance, and we have a similar experience with insurance. Can I team with you? Then that raises my interest, and I say I will give a meeting next day with them because I see a potential, right? But if you say, Srini, I know agentic AI, can I help you? Then it's slightly less because I have maybe 100 people with agentic AI experience. And why do I need another agentic AI company, right? I'm just giving you an example, Swapna.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
but I will definitely help how to package your message. But there are so many opportunities right now, so we could always team. But can I team with everybody? I promise, maybe not, because it's the step that takes you forward is that the perfect match, right? That should happen with you.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. But like,
Thank you,
are you
Swapna.
willing
So
to?
let's get other people chance to. Vivek Rao, what questions do you have, please?
So I see a bunch of questions there, Mansoor. So
Yeah, would you like to read and answer one
I
by
can
one?
I can I can read from there too, but we'll keep hold. So someone is asking if you are being approached by a new women-owned small business, what would be the key differentiator that would make you want to work with them? It seems similar capabilities won't necessarily. No, it's good point. Similar capabilities is for augmenting, but these days what we see is complementing, right? What I have and what I don't have is what I look for the company, and if they're 8A. So another example, if it is another women-owned small business and you're a women-owned small business, it's okay. But I think you would rather go for somewhere where someone is shaping up a women-owned small business, but they are not. Then that's a good combination where you can actually, that's a low-hanging fruit for you. So I would say look for complementing skills. When I go after a contract, I'm a strong architecture side. I'll go package a networking expert company along with me, then I'm a complete picture. Just giving an example there, right? Um, Srini, can you recommend focusing on one agency or state, or go after multiple agencies? I always say, depending on what stage you are, I would say spend your research on that one agency. Spend more time on what is the agency. When I say spend, find out if that agency has money, if the agency has the need that you have as a strength, and then that money and strength is in the near term, not after 2 years. When you do that whole thing and then figure out, then lock in, and then go after that one agency for a foreseeable time. Maybe I have usually I say, don't give up just yet. You just have how many opportunities in that agency that can match. And then once you have a strong hold, then you go to the other one, but go one after the other. If you go after everything, then it becomes a marketplace that you get confused. So that's my take.
Yeah, I think Vivek wants to talk with
Sure.
you, Srini.
Vivek, what is your question, sir?
Good afternoon, Mansoor Bhai. Good afternoon, Srini. Thank you so much for hosting this. My name is Vivek Rao. I'm on the AI committee, but currently I'm also a data scientist with the Department of Homeland Security through Mantech.
Nice.
And what I want to know is, because I work a lot with AI and SABCVA uses a lot of AI, how do you use AI in the proposal process? Do you use it more for generating the proposal, or do you use it more for like figuring out, how to target the consumer? So like, where is AI really helping you to achieve your goals?
A great question, and we always get this question, and we internally in the office we ask that question to ourselves, right? So a lot of times we feel like we if we bring in an AI coworker or an agent for writing the proposal, then we can actually address more proposals, right? So that's always a classic question. We did dabble with evaluating some of these products out there. Right from what is it, HireGo or GovDash, some of them, and then we saw it's not tailoring to our number one. Number two, we are giving your secret sauce outside. So what we ended up doing is we got a bunch of interns and our technology folk, and we built that pilot on top of our database. And then we started building. So it actually simplified our process. I'm not saying everybody should do that. We did it because I took that for multiple reasons. One, I can actually show that as my accelerator. Two, I use those people who build as my resources for next proposal. And three, it is helping our internal growth team, right? So my answer, if it is my database, my stuff, and if you have enough, but if you are just an upcoming company, you may not have enough data, because without the data, you don't have right insights and right recommendations, right? So my suggestion is to don't spend too much money on this run to the mill proposals, because it's the same thing that you get. Because a lot of times you want that for the first 60%. You don't want to build the entire thing from zero. So I would say, if there are any tools out there, again, I don't want to name some names and then say Srini said this, but there are a bunch of tools, or you can even build something on some of the existing LLMs, right? So, but you build this 50 to 60% out of the box, and then start writing it. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Navitas recruitment style could be different. Navitas quality management could be different. Navitas technical approach could be different on something, and that could be different from others, right? Nobody can write then you have to prompt it, and you need to be accurate, and then whatever you get is still, you need to work on it. So my simple answer is, it's easy to build one, and you start building the competency among yourselves. But I don't think there are any tools out there that can give 100% tailored to your style as a company. And then also, you're in DHS. They're asking us to build applications to find out if it is RFP is generated by a AI or someone has written. So there's always that balance is still not being made. So I hope I answered the question.
That was a wonderful answer, Srini. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Vivek. Thank you for asking this wonderful question. That was actually my question too. So, Srini, Matt is asking, Srini, if recommend focusing on one agency or state, or go after multiple agencies, what is your recommendation?
I just answered that before. So I think, it's
Sorry.
better to go do the lot of work on which agency to go, and then focus on one agency. If you have the appetite, if you have the financial backing, if you have other projects on the commercial side, then I'll take this route. But if you are not, your whole business is on federal contracting, government contracting, and you are a small business, then I would say pick 2 or 3 and then stay with it. Don't go for everything that comes out.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. I think another question is from Deva Mayappan. How to get contacts inside agency? How to get foot inside the door? Can SABC help on that?
There are a lot of agencies that will help, but to get the contact from inside, you need to go outside, right? It makes sense. You need to go out and mingle with people and let them know, not just a nagging sales guy going and giving cards to everybody, but go with the intent. Like tomorrow, if they're in a March, what is it? You have an event, right? South Asian business meeting. When you're going there, if I were a small business, I see who are the people coming, what are the agencies coming, and then I pick the ones that of interest. Because remember, I said in the early part of the conversation, go to the forecast of the agencies. Then let's say I said 3 agencies, and out of all these agencies, I pick the ones that are tech savvy, if I'm tech, or if a production side, whatever it is, and then you pick them, and then see if any of these agencies are being invited by Mansoor. Then you pick those and you go there. You're very intentional. You're not going to get overwhelmed. You go after that and you come back, and then you can do that, right? So my answer is always be very focused. You want to build the relationships. Start from. It is very easy, but you need to be very disciplined. You figure out from your network who are the agencies connected to 2 levels, 3 levels, whatever it is, and then you go to the events and then build that network. And then the other things are all from all my initial contracts for Navitas are from my prior projects that I worked as a contractor. I worked in Fannie Mae, I got out, and I went to Fannie Mae manager and said, you know how I work, can I get some work? I went to the Freddie Mac, I asked the same thing. I went to USCIS, I went to Volkswagen. So that trust is already established, right? That's the start. You go and then you build the relationship, and it cascades. Then you go another person. That's how you expand, right? Okay.
Any other question, guys?
How can you get contacts inside agency? How do you get foot inside the door? Yeah, that's the one I answer, right? No one will open the door. Yeah.
Yes, Srini. The next question is from Ahmad Asid. Which technology areas are federal agencies most actively prioritizing right now for new and first-time vendors or for any vendors?
They don't say these are for the first-time vendors and these are for the new vendors. But let's say at a broader scale, what are the technologies that federal government is spending on, right? Doge, it's all efficiencies, right? So that's why suddenly AI has become so prominent. It's not like you're building an application on AI. You are building an AI co-pilot or a co-worker on an application already there, so they can build the efficiency. They can reduce the friction points. They reduce the cycle time. That is where all agencies are spending their time and money. Of course, DoD and mission critical is a different thing. If I were to give one single advice, the companies who are small focus on the DoD and that agencies, because that's where most of the focus is going to be, whether it is IoTs or missile defense technologies or Earth observation or space. Those are all the places where the technology is evolving, and you can build in-processor AI applications, all those things, right? So I want you guys to focus on what's coming out on the innovation. That Army has a AI talent. You can build AI governance. You have responsible AI coming in. I'm not just saying it's only AI, but you build your applications and then start on top of the AI. So I think small businesses, you don't want to go after this submarine parts building or all that stuff, right? So I'm saying focus on, unless that's your area. But I think where I'm seeing more and more opportunities coming is on the security, cloud security, application modernization side with the intent of efficiency. So I think it is not anymore aligned with one technology. It's across the board, but it's all small businesses usually stay in that small realm, right? Portfolio management, project management, or those kind of things. I see Juan.
Yeah, thank you, Srini. That's a wonderful explanation. And I think Harsha is also having a question. What is Srini's advice for winning recompetes?
Oh, this is a good question. If you're recompete of your own contract, then it's a different story. If you have to win a recompete of someone else's, then you need to do more job, right? So you need to figure out what is that the customer likes on those guys, the existing incumbent, and how can you do more or better than what they're doing. But if it is your contract, usually if it's a 5-year, we start from 3rd year or 4th year to see as if this is the last year, and we'll see how is the customer today if this contract ends, and if we go back and bid, will they give it to us, right? Those are some of the things that tells you where are the areas that we need to cope up. So a lot of times there is a inbuilt complacency. If I'm working with a customer for 5 years, after 3-4 years, they get bored. It's like, I like pulled pork, and if you keep on feeding me every day, then I'll probably not like the same way I liked the first day. So the same thing here. So you need to interact with your customer in a different way, especially if you're in the middle, because whatever project that you're given for 5 years, it would have on the 3rd year you would have been in the maturity stage. That's when you need to sit with the customer and see what other areas you can actually bring innovation, efficiencies, all those things. Then they see you're going above and beyond, and then you can secure the place when you're going for a recompete, right? So
yeah. So we have two more questions, but before that, I would like to add one of the great friend we have, and deeply honored to be joined by this evening by Secretary Juan Pablo Segura, who served Trade and Commerce Department of Virginia. Secretary Segura has been a strong champion of small businesses, minority entrepreneurs, and economic development initiative across Commonwealth of Virginia. We truly appreciate his leadership and continued engagement with our community. Secretary Segura, we are honored to have you with us this evening. Would you like to share a few words?
But Mansoor, you're too kind. I am now former Secretary of Commerce and Trade for the great Commonwealth of Virginia. But when Mansoor, you told me that you were doing this training session, I just wanted to say hello to the whole community, the work that you do. Thank you for your leadership in the South Asian Business Council. And as you all consider how you can start your own businesses, how you can get your first contract or your next contract, it would be negligence for me to not recommend that the people on this call consider Virginia, the state of Virginia, different agencies of Virginia, as a potential customer. There's multiple programs to help support new entrepreneurs. I've talked about it quite a bit. There's an agency within the Commerce and Trade umbrella in Virginia called the Small Business Supplier Diversity Agency. They do a certification called SWAM certification, Small Women Owned and Minority Owned Business. There's incredible programs to kind of get entrepreneurs started so that they can get their first contract. There's vehicles that you can access. So I highly recommend that everyone gets SWAM certified if you have your business in Virginia. And then I would also share with the group that there are financing vehicles, whether it's small business loans at low interest rates, there's equity investments that are available in Virginia if you're a tech company. So there are a lot of tools, and I'm very happy to obviously talk to anyone that wants to reach out to me over LinkedIn, or if Mansoor, you want to introduce me so that I can get you in front of these people that are making the decisions that can help you be more successful in your business. So again, I just wanted to say hello and make sure people knew that Virginia is the best state to do business in. So we would love to see how we can help you.
Thank you, former Secretary Segura, for your inspiring words, leadership, and unwavering support for small and minority-owned businesses across Virginia. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for everything you do for our community. Thank you, sir.
An honor. Thank you, Mansoor.
Thank you, sir. So, yeah, let's move towards like two final questions from Mr. Srini.
I think someone asked one question. Can I read that? I think they're saying, are agencies currently prioritizing platform modernization or point solutions? I think I would say they're leaning more and more towards platform modernization, obviously, because they all wanted to have the agencies are like consolidating their legacy systems into some kind of unified platform and use AI-enabled platform, right? So my short answer is I think that's where majority of the RFPs are coming right now, both on the sole source and on the compete. What would you recommend for a startup IT company? Work as a subcontract in the beginning, or startup can be to bid directly? It's not either or. I would say you need to split your time on both, because maybe more time on being a subcontractor, and your goal is you're going to bid as a prime. So whatever time you are in as a subcontractor, you're basically packaging your experience as a subcontractor into a core capability so you can bid on that. So my answer is maybe first as a subcontractor, but not too long.
All right, Srini, again, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and insight tonight. Your guidance will help countless entrepreneurs and small businesses succeed in federal contracting. To our attendees, remember that SABCVA, which is South Asian Business Council of Virginia, is here to support you through education, connections, and opportunities to help your business thrive. Please stay connected with us at www.sabcva.com. Tanuja will share the link with all of you guys too. And don't forget to join us on March 29 for the largest South Asian business conference. Srini, last message. What is the final message for people for watching you?
I would say I'm seeing so many questions I'm not able to answer. So I want to let you guys know, you have, I don't know, my LinkedIn or my email. Feel free to send. I'm always I'll make time to respond to you. And then again, if anyone wants to work with me personally, like what's the lady, she Swapna, right?
Swapna. Mhm.
So just have your capability statement, and then let's talk. What is that niche that please look into Navitas website, whatever open areas, and see what is that we are doing, where are we going, and then you see if there is a match. I will never reject. I'll sit with you and see how we can work. But I feel I think be very what do you call it, relentless. This is not easy, but once you get to that hang of it, then it'll be so much fun. So I think be very clear on who you want to team with, what you want to which agency you want to go with, and then just don't deviate your focus. This market right now, because so much happened last year, Doge and geopolitical and 8 days, all that stuff, it is an absolute low in terms of opportunity. Last year, so the second half, we have no RFPs literally that we worked on. So what does it mean? It's all going to open the floodgates this year and opportunities start coming. We're working on 8 or 9 right now. So this is the best time if you're a small business and looking at federal or state. So just don't waste time on maybe this or maybe that. Just focus on one thing and latch on and look for companies you can team with so you can expand your knowledge. Right? And by all means, if you want to connect with me, and then I will do whatever way I can help you with. Right?
Yeah. Again, Srini, thank you. And friends, where else do you get the chance to learn directly from top CEOs and leader like Srini? So let's make the most of this opportunity. Start your work now, because remember one thing: God help those who help themselves. So only one person, in your life can change your life, and that is you. So thank you so much again for being with us, and thank you and join us on 29th March. We look forward to see you soon. If you can dream it, you can. If you can plan it, you can dream it. Or if you can dream it, you can plan. So let's do it, guys. Thank you so much.
So I see one comment from one of the
Sure.
guys who already teamed with us.
Go ahead.
I don't know who this is. SBS. So hey, thank you for being part of the program with us, and by all means, send it over. We have a lot more work in the State Department and also outside. I'd love to connect, and thanks for being our partner on this.
Yeah, if you want to answer some of the questions, feel free to do that.
I just happened to glance through that and I saw.
Do you want to see a few more questions and maybe want to answer? I'm here.
But if anyone wants to ask me a question, please.
Yeah, guys, go ahead. We are here for
another minute or two because
let's add 5 more minutes. What questions do you have?
Thank you, Srini. Thank you, Mansoor. This is Matt from SBS Infosystems, Srini. Loved the business working with Navitas. Due to some contractual changes during the program itself.
You can say it's Doge.
Yeah, Michelle and I worked closely with Michelle. So we'll, I don't have your email address, but I'll reach out to Michelle if she can connect us back. That would be really helpful.
You guys can look me up in LinkedIn and then send and I will definitely. Fellow entrepreneurs are always I can learn anything. Everybody has something to share. So let's connect our ecosystem here, and I can definitely help you.
Sure. Thank you so much.
And for all your information, we already invited Srini for our March 29 this conference, business conference, and hopefully Srini will accept it, and he's going to be one of our panelists over there. So you guys have a chance to meet him there too, in person.
So I think Mohammed Asfar, he wrote, what do evaluators see in proposals that signals execution risk even when the requirements are met? Because Mohammed, I think meeting the requirements is a very broad term, right? A lot of times they ask 10, we write 10. what they see is how credible your response is. If I'm a company with 20 employees and I'm bidding on a $100 million contract, you might write the right answers, but from optics perspective, they may not. So what they do at that time is they will look for some things that to fail you in advancing to the next level. So my suggestion is when you're picking an opportunity, if you are priming, then you need to at least have 60 to 70% coming from you in the responses, and then the rest coming from the team. Otherwise, it shows that you are just a front face and someone else is doing, which is also okay in the mentor prodigy or JV type case. But otherwise, execution risk comes from multiple things, right? In your response when you do it, you could do a best job in how you do the solutioning, but then if you're not showing what are the anticipated risks in that process and how you're mitigating, and you sometimes pad with saying, when we do this, these things might come in our old project. When this happened, this is how we fixed it. Those things give them that confidence that you have already sensed all the alt paths and then you're responding to it. So I hope I answered that question, but this is a very good question. This is what we do when we do a white glove and see, is it really picking up all the execution risk signals or not? So, if anyone has, I'm going to glance through some of these, but otherwise, if anyone has any question, you can definitely ask.
Hey, Srini, this is Supal. Quick question. So how is AI changing the federal space? So I own a startup. It's pretty much an enterprise AI platform where we do like anything that you can, just think of, like how agent AI is working, right? So I'm trying to go into the space, but help me understand how the AI projects are coming in. What are the
So
requirements?
where they are using, great question, Supal. Thanks. I mean, I think I'll end with this answer. Okay. What I see is most of the time they're using AI as more like a co-workers, right? What I mean is the place where human need to be there, like exception cases, is a different thing. But where there is a lot of pre-validations or rules engines or what do you call triaging, that is where they're using a lot. For example, there is a 8A audit going on right now, right? And most of you know, most of you would have submitted your 8A package. So that is where they're using an agent to sift through all the documents, check for the credentialing, check for the validation, all that, and then they'll give some actionable insights or recommendations. So earlier, the agents, physical humans, sit and then sift through all these 30,000, 20,000 applications. Now it's all done in 2 days. They already started sending the rejection notice for some of the 8As in 1 day. And that is possible because of the AI, right? They have run through them and their preliminary min quals. That way, if any of the companies have failed the min quals, they don't even want to go to the next round. They're just sending a rejection and sending it back. The remaining and then questionable, then AI will recommend. So all that co-pilot work is being done in the federal agency. Now proposals too, they started putting together, like the one I was saying, we have built, I don't want to say which agency, but for one agency, we are building that RFP automation process. So they want to go back from the old ones, and then they prepare the boilerplate, right? That's that. So these are the areas I'm seeing a lot of innovation. And then of course, networking, security, risk alert monitoring, all those kind of things are also part of that. And so for some agencies, even more, it goes one level. Capacity planning is done through AI, and then so it's a plethora of AI inclusions are happening, but not for right now. I see efficiency and reducing the friction points.
Repetitive work, right?
Right, repetitive work, exactly. Yeah. If you know any of the agencies you're working and you see something of the nature of repetitive, I would say just build something on LangGraph or something and put together a small agent and then go talk to them. It's not like your agent will get the business, but you will get the entry, so to get a good impression on the agency, and you'll be in the front line for the next RFP coming. Right?
Okay. Sounds good. I do want to thank you, and thank you for the information that you shared with everyone.
Sure.
Yep.
All right. So Tanuja, would you like to say something? before we
Yes.
say bye-bye?
Thank you so much, Srini. That was so wonderful. Like the answers are so pretty. And I wanted to share a link with you all, you guys, like to donate to the community. The SABCVA works on pretty on like women empowerments and also internships and professional development programs as well. If anyone would like to take make a donation, you're welcome to do so. Contributions are completely optional, and you may also share this with your family or friends. The donation details I'll share in the chat box. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah.
Yeah, and we are
Thank you.
501c3, a non-profit
Mhm.
company, 100% tax deductible. You'll get your tax received within 1 week. So just to let you know that. Raja Rizwan is the only one person who's also wants to ask you this question. Raja Rizwan, you there?
Yeah,
Please feel free.
yeah, yeah. I'm here. Can you
Yep.
hear me?
Go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, Srini, thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much, and you guys are doing a great work. I know you guys before. Srini Talasila.
Yeah.
I'm kind of friend with him. So I know you guys
Wow.
are
Okay.
doing
I'll share
amazing.
that with him.
Yeah, so amazing. I think I saw you one time in his house. But thank you very much. So on this one, so obviously I tried to do this thing. Is it so? 8A is still the same process that you have to have like the
Yeah.
existing. You have to show existing to customers and stuff, and
Right.
then the bidding, is it now online? Because I did it a few years ago where you have to submit those big 2 3 packages, mail them to FedEx, print it. Do you still have to do that, or you just have to
It's
automate it?
it's little bit simplified. You can do electronic, but the process of what do you call that? The pre-qualifications is always the same, but it became more stringent and audits are more tougher. Because in the past,
Okay.
people used to namesake get two contracts and then package it, and then you say why you are economically disabled, blah blah blah, all that.
Okay.
Now the entry is one thing, but they're evaluating if you're genuinely doing the right things to win the contract. Especially
Okay.
sole source are going to be out. It's going to be more compete.
Okay.
All the audits are happening on the sole source contracts awarded to all the 80 companies, right?
Okay.
So
And
it,
I have one personal kind of personal kind of thing. It's not regarding contract this thing, but I have on the side, I have another gym business, so I want to contact with you or you somebody in your HR to offer discounted gym membership to your employees. If
sure.
that's
So you're
possible.
saying I'm fat.
No, you are not. For your employees and stuff. So I would love
Sure.
to touch
Okay.
base with somebody.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Srini
Okay.
bhai, final message or should I close it?
No, I mean, I've never mind, but all the best. Just have the eye on the price. I think uh, it's not a quick 1 day journey. You need to really have the patience, and patience is the single most virtue you need to if you're on the federal side, and you will definitely see success if you just cross that hump. So I think only way we can survive and success see success in this is by going by networking and making sharing the work with other things. Like you have to find your teaming partner who's really a company or a person who can really gel in with your mindset, with your thing. So my suggestion is just always be outside. If you are an owner of the company, be outside. Look for the connection that you could make, and bring it back inside and make that as an ingredient to cook that dish called contract. Okay.
Perfect. We
So
have last 30 seconds video, which I would like to request all of you to see, and then, bye-bye to me from right now. Tanuja, you want to share the last video?
Yeah, sure, Mansur.
And that's a good video. Everybody has to see because this video gonna help your children and your friends and everybody. So let's watch it.
Every great movement begins with a single vision, a belief that together we can create something extraordinary. Welcome to the South Asian Business Council of Virginia, SABCVA, a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering South Asian entrepreneurs, innovators, and professionals right here in Virginia. At SABCVA, we believe that when one of us grows, we all rise. We bring together dreamers, doers, and changemakers, connecting them through mentorship, Business workshops, internships, and networking events that turn ideas into action and challenges into opportunities. In just a short time, we've opened doors for over 35 young professionals, giving them real-world internships in artificial intelligence, mobile app development, and technology innovation. These students are not just learning, they're leading the future. Their success stories are proof of what happens when a community believes in its youth. Whether you're starting your first business or scaling your next big idea, SABCVA connects you to investors, funding, microloans, mentors, and government programs that can make your vision a reality. Our mission is to build a vibrant and united South Asian business community where ideas flourish, leaders are created, and opportunities are endless. But we can't do it alone. Every internship we offer, every workshop we host, every door we open happens because of you. Your donation, your time, your mentorship, it all fuels this mission. When you give, you're not just supporting a program, you're changing a life. You're helping a student find their purpose, an entrepreneur chase their dream, and a community rise together. Now is the time to step forward. Join the movement, empower, inspire, lead. Visit www.sabcva.com or email contact@sabcva.com to learn how you can get involved. SABCVA, empowering South Asian business one opportunity at a time.
Thank you so much, Srini Bhai, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. See you guys soon.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Good night,
wonderful evening, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.